Good morning and welcome to this meeting of the Logan County Commissioners. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is February 12th, 2021. Please rise for the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks again for coming. We'll move on to item 3. Any citizens desiring to be heard? Hearing none. We'll move on to item 4, consideration and possible action to approve minutes of February 1st and 3rd.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Let me please sign. Item 5, open sealed bid 2021-19 for 6-month road-based repair and consideration and possible action to award said bid.
We received 2 bids, one from Atlas Paving and one from TJ Campbell. Let me get a stapler.
Wouldn't mind it gets expensive going out to your part of the world.
Everything does.
TJ Campbell's got it the same all the way around, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000.
$6,000.
Per job, per
Oh.
location, mobilization fee.
Oh,
Oh, the mobilization.
I was gonna say 6,000 a ton. That's pretty pricey.
No, I was looking at the other, the
Per
mobilization.
job, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we can come up with some 8 to 12 mile long jobs.
Right.
Is it a lot of number? It's something you need on a spreadsheet?
Well, I think it would probably be good to have them compared. Once I get it eyeballed, we can maybe, I don't know. Let me look here at what we got. If I can compare mine, I might be able to.
Did they bid it by zone?
Yes.
They did, and, okay, so TJ Campbell is about at 500 plus tons, and that's what I'm gonna go off of, because it's smaller tonnage.
Sure.
You know, is probably not something we do with that. Price per ton in my district, zone 1, is 150 a ton for Atlas, 125 for Campbell. Campbell's got a $6,000 mobilization fee. Atlas has got a $2,500 mobilization fee. So it depends on how much you're going to do at the job. And they're kind of consistent like that. The smaller jobs, the 50 to 200 ton, there's quite a bit of difference here, almost $100 a ton between the two. So I think it might be something we'd want to throw on a spreadsheet and look at, because it looks like Campbell may be more cost effective for a bigger job. That it didn't take much asphalt at $100 or $200 a ton to overcome what is it? $3,500 mobilization difference, yeah. But here, Monty, if you can look at them, I think.
I'm good just putting them on a spreadsheet. We can go by district.
You want to table them to the 26th?
Please. Okay, thank you. That'll get us started there. Because I don't think we're going to be doing any deep patching on asphalt roads between now and the 26th.
That'd probably be a pretty safe bet.
Unless we get some big ice picks out there. Anyway. Item 6, discussion and possible action to appoint member representing District 2 to the Free Fair Board of Directors. I've looked at all the applications and I know one of them pretty well, and then the others I don't know at all. So
I only kind of know one. I don't know him very well. I knew his dad. His dad was a good welder. That'd be the Coy Betton.
Boy, bitchin'.
I'm very familiar with Ira Barrow. I mean, Ira raises hogs and show hogs, and his kids are in FFA and 4-H and all that stuff. And I mean, they're involved in that up to their necks. And Ira's also the vice president of Atkins Construction, he's also the inspector for the Coltrane Road project over there for Atkins. And he lives locally. He's, like I said, I just know he's the only one that I know, and he's been most helpful on getting some of this stuff done on our contracts. But he's also, like I said, been involved in the 4-H, FFA, the fair, and he's also the one that the chairman of the fair board is nominated, for the position as well.
That was his recommendation. I had two that were in mind, Kerry Fryer and Ira Barrow. So, of course, Dennis he was here. So, but his recommendation was Ira Barrow.
Well, if your district, I'll support whatever you want to do.
I'm making a motion to appoint Ira Barrow.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Ira Barrow as the District 2 Free Fair Board to the Free Fair Board Directors. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 7, discussion and possible action concerning remodel expansion of Commissioner's Conference Room, drywall contractor, electric, heat, air, floor covering, finished walls, and etc. We got an estimate for the drywall to move this wall back several feet, and to open up that little closet area for another meeting room. And anyway, that estimate is $5,200. Here you go, gentlemen. To redo the electrical and move the lights where they needed to go. We got a estimate from Gooch of $3,043. So it's somewhere under $9,000 to do the move. I expect that we would be able to. The drywall contractor is going to refinish the walls to where we can paint them, right? So he's going to tape and bed them when I say refinish, and get them ready to paint, and then the repainting would be up to us. And then we've got one account that we've put money back for doing these kind of little projects.
General government has a building maintenance account.
Right. How much money do we have in there?
87,000, I believe.
Okay. I move that we put a project cap on this of not more than $10,000 to do this, and I think I can work within that budget to get that done.
I'll say.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
When do you think they might start?
Well, so as a matter of fact, the drywall contractor said he could start tomorrow, except now tomorrow's out because we're not sure we can even going to be able to get on the roads. So it's weather dependent. As soon as things clear up, they're going to be able to start just as soon as possible.
I guess they'll try to fall in between the meeting dates and.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's why they wanted to start on Saturday. They thought they could have it done in a week, have it moved in a week. The first thing they were going to need is the electric folks come in and cut the power, so they can demolish the wall. So it'll be in those kind of phases. We'll cut the power and then move the wall and that kind of thing.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion on that? All right, hearing none. Let's move on
Call a
to,
vote.
ma'am?
You didn't call a vote. so-
I didn't?
No.
I thought we did. Okay.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Item 8, discussion and possible action on concerning ongoing county emergency management office issues with Logan County Emergency Manager. Item A, welcome to the meeting, by the way, David. Item A, you got an update on the air curtain?
I do. She emailed me. Ashley was the lady that was here from the EQ. That's her response, and then on the back is the form to fill out if you want to apply for the side, emergency side.
Emergency. So what we were looking for was an exception to the air curtain requirement.
Yes. So we can ask for it. She said they could ask for it. She can't do that, but she'd send it up to her boss.
So we got a way to ask for the exception here. They provide us with what we need for that.
Yeah, I believe that's with the form, emergency disposal evaluation registry form on the back. She said it would have to be everything related to the October ice storm event.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. So we've already got sites registered with them, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I think that's what this form is for, is to register a site. What we need to do is be able to request an exception to the policy requiring an air
For
curtain.
the air curtain.
And
Yeah.
I don't see this, so how do we do that?
Let me get back with her, and I don't know if we'll still have to do the form and then ask for not have to do the air curtain with the form.
Jim, if you look at the second paragraph of her email, she says that it just takes a letter from the highest ranking county official requesting an exemption. In the email here.
So David, can you draft a letter up like that for us?
Yeah.
All right,
We can do that.
thank you.
Yep.
Item B. I assume that you guys want to request an exception to that because you're outside the city limits. Okay. So we need to do that for both Districts 3 and District 2. I can't do it because I'm within the city limits and I need to
Okay.
continue to use
District
air
1,
curtain.
2, or 2 and 3. Okay.
And since we've kind of agreed to do that, I'm not sure that we need to bring this back to our next meeting. As soon as you get that, I will sign that and get it off.
I'll get it to you, and get you to sign it, and we'll get it to her.
All right. Item B, determination of additional requirements of more restrictive state agency mandated sealed bid newspaper advertising needs to engage private contractors to submit sealed bids on collecting and disposing of countywide October 2020 storm debris. It was really, man,
I have calls out. You had asked me to see what I could find out. I have calls out to 2 reps from OEM who have not returned my calls to try to confirm what the bid for a FEMA project. I suspect the weather's probably tied some things up, but I did not get returned.
right. It's interesting that FEMA won't return our calls so we can get sealed bids out to apply for, or OEM to apply for, to get contractors to help us with another emergency that happened on October 20th, or October 2020.
Yeah, I've reached out I'll reach out again. So they can hopefully return our calls.
Okay.
Can't make them call us.
We've been working on this since, for over a month now.
Yeah.
Trying to figure that out.
Yes, sir.
All right. Because we really do need to get the bid specs out so we can get contractors to bid on this so we can get
Start
this
getting
stuff
stuff picked up. Yes, sir.
Maybe get stuff picked up, depends on what it's gonna cost us.
Well, it
But,
sounds like to me they operate just like ODOT. I mean, you can send them emails, you can call them, and they will not respond. I've been calling ODOT for months now, trying to buy some crushed asphalt from them, and they won't email me back, they won't call me back. And it sounds like they run this department the same as they do ODOT.
well, there's no recourse if they don't. I mean,
Exactly.
there's nobody holding their feet to the fire.
Sure. That's what makes us a little different than who are
Yeah,
the fires.
right.
We're the low dogs.
Well, if you don't grade the road, people are gonna yell and throw rocks at you. That's the way that works. Yes, sir. If they don't do something, they just get paid anyway. All right, item C. Review of all countywide radio frequency spectrum available and in use.
So last time I didn't have that frequency for District 2, so that is the District 2, I guess you would say /EM radio frequency. For EM, it's on our county storm sirens. Use that frequency to activate the sirens.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's the District 2.
David, this item that we've got on the agenda, and I'm not trying to be flip with you, but it says review of all countywide radio frequency spectrums available and in use.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure we got more than this.
Yes, sir. And I gave you the last meeting everything that we had.
I
Sorry, I didn't make copies
I
of
didn't
that.
see Oak Cliff Fire Department on there, right? I didn't see some of the others down in Southwest, Logan County on there. I didn't see a lot of our volunteer firefighters on there. Some of the other ones. There's an awful lot of radio frequencies that are in use in Logan County that I didn't see on there. I mean,
Well, in the last sheet that I gave you last time, on the Logan County fire frequencies, the county fire departments, the majority of them are on that one right there, the
Mhm.
Logan County Fire Dispatch.
right?
Obviously, Oak Cliff's
So-
on the 800
And
system.
so is Deer Creek,
Yes.
right?
Okay. Work to get those frequencies. I mean, on the 800.
So here's what I, recommend maybe. I know, I suspect that our county sheriff has a radio frequency manager. I'm not sure what that position's called over there, but maybe you could get with them and figure this out for us and
Okay.
get this back to us.
Okay.
Appreciate it. And then the last is the status on the move. It's tied to our remodel here.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't quite have everything over there. The majority of it's been moved. I was up here Saturday for quite a while and did 3 pickup loads. I have just a few more things. I need to just double check. I have to get with the phone company and move the phone over there. And then I need to double check on the internet, but the majority has been moved.
Okay. And with the weather, we've got a few more days to get some stuff done.
That'd be helpful.
Or not, depending on the weather, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, David. Any further discussion on item 8? All right. Anything from you, David?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, hearing none, we'll move on to item 9. Discussion and possible action concerning possible appointment and/or establish a service contract with a private company to engage a county information technology officer. I haven't made a lot of calls around to different companies. There are a few. A lot of folks in the Oklahoma area don't take county purchase orders, which kind of excludes them. I did have a thought though, and Damon, with you here, maybe you can help me explore this thought. There's a fellow by the name of Kevin Woodward that is pretty good with IT stuff. I know this because in 2015 he helped me with my Fuelman system and getting that hooked up with a wireless connection to where we could make a connection in and track fuel and control it from inside the building through wireless technology. And that was my first meeting with him. My understanding is he may be a reserve sheriff or reserve deputy.
Probably will be before long.
Okay. Is there? Do you think that he might maybe be interested in helping us with a few county-wide issues that we have that we'd like to get implemented?
Yeah, I reached out to him, sent him my information, and he was going to reach out to you.
Okay, good.
So he didn't say no.
Well, that's good. That's good. At least he didn't say no.
So what did you think about contracting with Kevin?
Yeah, if we can. There's a few items, and we're going to talk about one of them in particular is the email system that takes a little bit of time because as we get new people in and people move out, email needs to be archived and new mailboxes established, that sort of stuff. That takes a little bit of effort. And then the other thing is possibly assisting Troy with the county website. There's a lot more we can do on the county website, but there's only so many hours in the day, and you know, when you call Troy up, can you post this to the website? Can you do this to the website? I mean, we could probably fill up her day with that kind of stuff that would be good for the public to know and to see and to have available on our county website. And those are the kind of things that I had in mind.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I think we can contract with him right up till he becomes a county employee, then I don't think you can. So.
okay. Hadn't thought of that. That's
Just a thought.
Well, as a reserve, he wouldn't be an actual county employee, but we would double check and make sure that there wasn't a conflict.
right. Do reserve officers get paid?
Some do,
Some do.
some do.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wants, I don't think he's looking at it from a perspective of being paid, just helping.
I mean, that was my point. If we was going to try to contract with him, we need to do it before the sheriff tries to hire him.
I get you. I got you. All right.
Beat him to the punch.
I mean, I like Kevin. He was really easy to work with and very, very knowledgeable
Yeah, I know
IT
Kevin. I
stuff.
like Kevin.
So with the board's concurrence, I'll go ahead and pursue trying to get him engaged with us on that.
So would this be, you're not going to take formal action on this item today? Or
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, there wouldn't be any action to take at that point, I don't think. Okay. Any other discussion on that? Hearing none. Item 10, discussion of possible action concerning status update for sharing transfer of previously collected County Courthouse Telecommunication handset data to Chickasaw Telecommunications. What we're looking to is a conversion from our current Centrex phone system that would have to get better to be bad. I'll just put it that way. I hate this system. Because when I pick up and I try and dial the courthouse, sometimes it goes to District 2. It never goes to District 3 because they're not on that. But sometimes it goes to the Mars. You know, I'm sure I've talked to a Martian or two on that system.
The
Yes,
rep
ma'am.
from Chickasaw did reach out. He was supposed to get back with me this week. I have not heard from him. Again, I don't know if that's weather related. So that we can, get a quote. I will tell you that I actually had another company reach out to me earlier this week that's on state contract. They do the phone system at Canadian County. It's a different company. It's Granite. Who is going to send me an email to receive some information so that they can put together a proposal as well. So we're in the process of trying to get proposals.
Right. Yeah, more than one is always better than just one, for sure. Okay. It's just, and you and I have talked about this ad nauseum. We've been trying to get this converted over for a while. We thought we had a good vendor to do that, and then they kind of fell off the edge of the earth for some reason. When it come time to perform, they just kind of checked out the net. Anyway, we still need to get it fixed, and I think we all agree with that. All right, thank you, ma'am. Item 11, discussion and possible action concerning status update publishing on Logan County website for our golf cart traffic that we talked about at our meeting in January that we approved on January 15th. Troy's got some.
I didn't print 3 sets. I should have.
That's okay.
So, based on the statute and the actions that were taken by the board, I've created the verbiage that would just be, this is what it will take to do this, to get golf carts in subdivisions. And because it takes petitions, that's what the requirement by statute, there's 2 different petition forms I've created, one for HOAs and one for non-HOAs. All of this I can get onto the website. It's not there yet because this item was on today's agenda, so I haven't put it on the website yet.
Right.
These forms have been created in a PDF fill-in format that we can post like I've done other forms on the website. They can type on them, print them out, send them in.
Cool. So, I think it's good that we have both for the HOAs, because an HOA is a legal entity into itself, and so the chairman of an HOA can sign that basically for the whole HOA, depending on their little local laws and that kind of stuff. But then, if we have a road that has a lot of people live on it, then it's not an HOA, just the residents there, the majority of those residents should have to be able to sign a petition to get us to do that. Not just one out of maybe 100 residents on the road come to us and say we want to do this. I think that would be something we would need to review and look at as well. So I appreciate you doing both of these and getting them ready for us. So
do you want me to go ahead and launch that?
Yeah, if you need a motion, I'll move that we approve.
Yeah.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the forms to be put on the website. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, yeah. So we normally wouldn't approve a form that to do an action that we'd already approved, but yeah. Because I'm going to talk about that here later when we get down a little further. Okay. Item 12. Discussion and possible action concerning establish and publishing policy and procedures to issue county courthouse employee badges. County clerk to establish and initiate badge issuance forms, take a photo and forward to the county sheriff's office to make and issue ID badges as approved by our board on the 15th. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that we all understood is it was kind of my intention that the sheriff would always be in charge of issuing IDs that will be used to access the courthouse, because the sheriff is responsible for security of the courthouse. So if an ID is going to be issued and it's going to be used to access the courthouse through his sheriffs or his deputies that are there, then and it's a holdover from the military, because that's kind of how military pass an ID is done, right? The military police in charge of the post, do pass an ID, and that's the reason for that, is because they control all of the entrances and exits and that sort of stuff. But the administration of that should be done probably by the county clerk, and so to share that responsibility, I think Troy would do those sorts of things as the Human Resources Office, right? As we bring in a new hire, fill out the paperwork, the form, take the picture, and then send it over to the sheriff to issue, for them to issue the ID at that point. That was kind of my thoughts, and so I'll open it up for discussion on the policy and procedure for that.
I think that's right. I think you're on the right track.
Yeah.
We have a form. Damon and I have already been working on
Right.
the whole process. I had to order all the supplies and the things, and I'm missing an SD card before we can actually implement. There's a sample right there.
Monty doesn't like the picture that he's going to have to wear.
He's trying to get
We're
their
still
budget
detailing
right now.
exactly what information will go on the card, but Damon's done great trying to work that out.
Molly's just gonna be a silhouette.
But the lanyards are, the other thing that will be coming with this is the employee will sign that they received it,
Exactly.
and then we'll sign when they're terminated. We have to know when someone's gone so that we can note that they no longer blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know exactly when I'll be able to schedule everyone to get their pictures taken until I get all the supplies in.
At
But-
termination, are they gonna have to
Okay.
give those back?
Yeah, absolutely, and in fact,
Be destroyed.
the clause that they sign notes specifically that it remains property of Logan County, and then they will immediately surrender upon cessation of
So
time.
Troy, you're gonna take the pictures? Like last time we had those badges made, we just went over to the sheriff's office and he took them.
I know, but, so we're setting it up not just for those that are here, but in the future. So we're gonna take the pictures, email them over. Damon's gonna do this. It's really tough for people over at him to have to stop and do. Once we get all the current employees done, then we're just talking about new hires, which they come to us to get onboarded anyway. We snap the picture, send it over.
Well, I know that Wayne and I were discussing, if there's a professional picture you have for your office, we can use that. As far as if there's I know he's got one of those, what do they call it, glamour shot. Monty's got one, he wants me to use his. So we can use those.
Olin Mills.
Yeah, Colin Mills.
Yeah.
So, that was just.
Oh, I don't care. I just think one more thing you have to do.
Well, and I understand that, but it really came down to when you're doing the onboarding. It just makes sense. We've got them in, we're doing their paperwork, turn around, click their picture. They have to sign everything with us anyway. So it was just kind of, yes, it's an additional, but it's one that makes sense.
Any further discussion? All right, so we've really got no action here other than to just say we're making progress, moving on, and looks like the SD card's all we're waiting on, and we'll be able to go with that. Okay?
Yeah, I don't know why they sent them separate.
Yeah. Amazon? Yeah, okay. My 7-year-old granddaughter knows about Amazon. All right, move to item 13. Discussion and possible action concerning status update on details needed for the establishment of countywide email system. URL, name of office, Logan County, as approved by the board on the 15th of January. So we have our county website, and what's going to happen is as soon as we get us a information technology officer hired, I'm gonna have them help us set up a contract with a hosting service that will host email only for us, because we've already got a website. Now we can share the email system. It's a matter of putting domain name records, it's called mail exchange records, in a domain name server where it'll point all the email traffic to the email server farm that we would contract with. But that's how it would set up. And at that point, they'd set up email for all of our elected officials. Now, I'm not sure that we would want to ever set up official email addresses with our personal names, because people change, positions don't, and these are position related email addresses is what I was looking at, if that makes sense. So we won't have Marvin Goodman at LoganCounty.com, but we will have a Commissioner District 1 at LoganCounty.com. And that's where all the official and unofficial email contacts would go to from the public, and all the official email outgoing to other state agencies and that sort of stuff. If we do official email, it'd be by this. So that's kind of the thoughts I had on that. But anyway, when we get a county information technology officer, that will be the first duty, is to help us establish that. Any further discussion, thoughts on that? Okay.
Did we do action on this?
We did. We approved doing this. It's just a matter of getting someone to help us technically make it happen. Okay. And it won't be back on the agenda again, Monty, unless we run into a snag.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we don't need action, that's my point.
No, we didn't. No, I don't think so. No, we've already approved it on January 15th. All right. Item 14, discussion and possible action concerning abatement plan and coordination with the EQ contractor on the county 6-story building. David, I've talked to a lot of different folks, and I've been told that you're the one that's been coordinating with the DEQ folks on when they can come and do work, and when we're ready for them and that kind of stuff. So
A little bit. So yeah, there's a DQ guy has emailed me asking the second and third floor they need to get done with the tile the company that DQ has done. So there's the asbestos tile, they've done everything but the second and third floor. And that's the two that needs to be done. But
have they done the first? Have they finished the first floor?
I believe so.
I think they got a few rooms left. My guys come over and worked the other day when they couldn't work on roads, so we got the dumpster out here full, and someone come by the other day and opened the gates on the dumpster and unloaded a bunch of stuff because they wanted metal out of it. We're gonna have to stop that. I mean, I want him to have it because we're throwing it in the dump, but if they're not gonna put the stuff back in the dumpster, if y'all happen to see someone, I'd appreciate it if they would quit unloading it so I gotta load it back. But I probably need to meet with the treasurer and Cheryl and see about the stuff they gotta keep, because my guys is pretty good about, if they see it, they throw it in the trash.
Right. I'm gonna assume that's why we've got the treasurer and the court clerk here today, is because we put this on the agenda to talk about, and as we're clearing out the first floor, records management, records retention is something that we understand we got to do, but we've got some records in there that go back to a long time ago, and they may be outside the zone of retention or required retention, but we've also got a whole bunch of other stuff over there, and I think that's what we want to address. Is if we've got stuff stored over there, like old chairs, old computers, old this, old that, then you know, if they're not records, if they're not something you absolutely need to keep, then we really need to get it cleared out, because we really need to reuse that space over there and start getting it cleaned up and use it for other uses. Officers of the court over there are really, Cheryl, as you know, are really pressed for space, and we're doing our best to try and get this cleared out and get some
Ours
places.
is, downstairs is only the 2 rooms.
Yeah, well, I'm not particularly picking on you as far
Yeah.
as stuff you got stored, but as you know,
I know.
the officers of the court over there are really in need of places to go have meetings and do stuff, and that would be a perfect spot if we can get it cleaned up and get that done. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
But as far as the second floor, the hallways are pretty clear. I mean, we don't have trash up there. We don't have any office furniture. It's all records on our floor. There might be from when they still had the building for, when it was still the nursing home or whatever. There's a couple of washers and dryers out on that veranda. But other than that, there might be a few boxes. There's stuff from the old law library from the 3rd floor. When they moved that stuff out, they put it in one of the rooms there. But it's all metal. I don't know if you can scrap it or.
Yeah, I guess I need someone to just put a sticker or something on the stuff you want to keep. So if they don't have a sticker on it, them guys will just get rid of it.
I think all my stuff that's over there is junk.
You know, like, it might be just the old computers and stuff, you know, we need to do a resolution to dispose of, and so.
Yeah, I think like they
Hold
might
on,
hard
See, they take ours out when we
old
get,
copy.
when we replace, they take ours.
Right.
Can I point out, in the 1 or 2 conversations I had with Trenton Wilhelm, who's the DEQ guy, and I'm just throwing this out there because I'm hearing what I think could be a 2-part deal. What DEQ needs to finish the abatement, as far as they're concerned, is move everything from one side of the hallway in there, let them come in, clean it out, then you move everything back from the other side and clean that out. That would, what they're aiming to do is get it where they know they can come in and do that. That was the last conversation that I was part of. As far as throwing out everything or what still needs to be in storage, I don't know if that's tied together, is I guess what I'm saying, to what DEQ's asking.
Well, my whole thing is, we don't want to move it twice.
I get
And
that.
that's what I'm,
Yeah.
I get that.
I don't know if y'all walk through there, like, there's a lot of stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. I mean, just.
upstairs, the halls are open. I mean, they're not, there's nothing in the halls.
Right. I
There's
have never
nothing
been
in
on the
the-
2nd floor, so.
Yeah, on certain rooms, there's maybe some docket books and stuff that would be easy to move to one side. Our problem's gonna be when you go to that south end, that is full, chock full of records. They're in file cabinets, they're in boxes, but they could absolutely do the north half of that front hall and probably all the rooms on this side. It's when you get here that once that gets cleaned out, those are gonna have to be moved up there so that we can get to those second set of rooms.
Yeah. We really do need to move forward, though. I'm afraid we're gonna mess around and lose our deal with DEQ. to
That's,
get it cleaned up.
I agree, and
Sarah's helped me. We've done like 4 dumpsters, but I don't want to throw something away that then somebody comes back later on and
So,
says,
David,
Anything on
what
the
we've
first floor
done-
that's out in the
Where's
hall.
that?
what we've done, and it was at a meeting that you weren't able to attend. Monty's our point guy for our Board of Commissioners on that building over there now. He's graciously volunteered to help us be the point guy and say this needs to go or not go. We've worked with the county assessor's office over there, and they've been good enough to that we've got an action item here to declare a lot of their stuff surplus that they've got over there, and so we're going to do that. I would ask you to coordinate with Commissioner Piercy and with the DEQ representatives and pass that information over to him as well, because I think Monty would be able to help us get this moving forward.
well, and we're definitely going to have Cheryl involved because I don't want to move any records and then throw hers because she has a system over
David.
there. So-
Monty will take care of that, okay?
Well,
Okay, Monty will take care of that, perfect.
Come over and we'll go up there and you can see what I'm talking about.
Sounds good.
Tell me when so I can put on my cover.
It's not cold.
I know, I was up there yesterday.
All right, well,
Nice,
listen.
nice and sweaty warm up there, is that what you're saying?
Bricks
Steam
hold
bath?
the heating.
Mhm.
Sir?
So those bricks hold the heating.
Good, I like it. Okay. Any other discussion on item 14? So the only action, David, I need you to get with Monty.
Monty,
And,
okay.
and do a turnover of information that you know about,
Okay.
contacts, all that stuff.
And then I guess, I mean, if we could share, if we see whoever digging through the dumpster, we'll tell him not to do that anymore.
Well, I don't care if they dig through the dumpster or not, but if they're gonna unload the dumpster, they need to load the dumpster back.
There was a guy there 5:30 when I left last night, and he assured me he would put everything back, and obviously this morning he didn't do that, so. Well,
Bad enough loading it once, but
I
loading
know.
it twice.
yeah, he did the same thing, or somebody did the same thing when Sarah and I filled the dumpsters different times. I don't know if it was him or not, but we'd come back the next morning and everything you throw in there is all around it, so it's definitely frustrating.
We got it.
Okay. Item 15, discussion and possible action to appoint receiving officer or officers for the newly created Board of Commissioners Shared Equipment Cash Account, to establish a separate shared equipment inventory list, and to decide the physical location where shared equipment would be stored and not in use. And this goes back to our board action to buy this road widener skid steer. While we're on that, gentlemen, this is the CED number 5 application for the 40K. I'm going to take it to our next board meeting. If you guys would sign that, we've already approved doing that. I appreciate it. So back to the receiving officer. I've got a lot of correspondence with our ADA on this and the state auditors and such. But I think one of the things that we could do as far as a receiving officer for like this shared account, and of course she's not in the room, so I don't have a problem throwing her under the bus, but Sarah could be our receiving officer for the Board of Commissioners for something that we shared. And then she could keep track of where it's being stored, right? So if I'm using it or one of y'all are using it and we decide to store it someplace, when the auditors come out to do an audit of equipment, this equipment list that we're required to keep, right? So it's an equipment list for this special account. So I assume this is going to be an equipment list germane just to that account. So wherever those items are stored, we'll need to keep track of that as well. So I'm not going to nominate Sarah, but I want to discuss it, and then if you guys think that's a good idea, then we can talk about the nomination. But
I think it's good.
Yeah, I think Sarah would be good.
okay,
I guess we just need to fill out a form on
I-
that. You got it?
She's ahead of the game.
thank you very
I'll
much.
make the motion for Sarah. to be
I'll second.
receiving.
I have a motion and a second to appoint Sarah as the receiving officer for the Board of Commissioners. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Aye.
motion passes. And then we can figure out the rest of that ourselves, I guess, as it comes about. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Item 16, discussion and possible action to define time and place restrictions when allowing public comments during Logan County Board of Commissioners open meeting. The reason I put this on the agenda is because we've had a lot of discussions, and I've seen some actions and some embarrassing actions take place in other boards, county commissioner boards, maybe possibly some of y'all seen some Oklahoma County Commissioner board meetings where people get up and start screaming and yelling with bullhorns and just basically disrupt the meeting. We haven't had anything like that down here yet, but I think it's only a matter of time, the way our society's going, that it's time for us to establish some ground rules for, and I do want to make sure that the public is allowed to address things that we have on our agenda, and that's what we've always tried to do. Things not on our agenda, we've always tried to address after a meeting with the commissioner that's involved with whatever the issue is that one of the citizens wants to talk about. So that's basically what this would do. And I don't mind, if you want me to read this into the record, I can do that, or if you gentlemen want to look at it and discuss it, we can do that too.
The 1 minute duration, that's put in by Title 19?
No, that's
Is that
just,
something that we want to add, or?
that's our time and place. We're able to do that under the Open Meeting Act. Says public bodies not required under the Open Meeting Act to provide an opportunity for citizens to express their views on issues being considered by a public body. Public body may voluntarily choose to allow such comments. A public body which allows such comments may limit the comments to items on the agenda or may allow for comments on any matters. So basically, it allows us to put time and place restrictions on there. So the 1 minute time, if you think about, if you have 10 people show up, if you allow them 2 minutes, that's 20 minutes that's taken up with 10 people saying the same thing over and over again. After a while, we've got a whole bunch of time taken up, which may or may not benefit the public. But the 1 minute would be the initial for anything on the agenda, and that's to make the statement. After that, there could be an iterative conversation between the board and the citizen, because we're talking about an agenda item at that time, right? So
that's just the initial item statement that they're trying to discuss.
Right,
okay.
right.
So we're not holding the entire discussion to 1 minute. We're just
No, not at all, not at all. That's their initial statement time. And if it runs a minute, 15, whatever. I mean, how our board goes. I mean, we're pretty lenient on a lot of that stuff.
I think everything that we've put in here will help our meeting kind of have a flow to it and prevent some unwanted comments. But I like it.
$5 fine, I mean.
Yeah.
Whatever y'all want to do, I'm good.
So my thoughts were, this is something, once again, that on our website, under the open meeting, under our meetings, public comment, we could post this as the requirements for public comment. One of the other things is, and I know Troy is on the tip of the spear here because she catches the phone for a lot of stuff. People will call up and demand to be put on the agenda, and that's not the way we do things here, right? So our board, the three of us determine what goes on our agenda and what we talk about as public business. Unless it's administrative items, then we give the county clerk the option to put things on the agenda that are of reoccurring administrative issues. But for someone to demand to be put on the agenda and that sort of stuff, well, I'll just show up at the meeting and I'll raise Cain there, and that's not the meeting is not the place to do that. You know, if you got an issue to address with your county commissioner, then they need to do that with the county commissioner. And that's what we've always said as well. You know, if somebody shows up and they've got an issue that's, you know, commissioner related or one district related, not related to something within the whole county or something on the agenda, then we always put that off to the end of the meeting, and, you know, the commissioner would be happy to talk with you after the meeting. That's what we always say. But I would encourage we do more of that rather than try and have an iterative discussion back and forth with someone who's got an issue with something in their district. That's just my thoughts on
I
it.
agree.
So do we need a motion to accept this?
I think so, yes.
I make a motion to accept.
So, yeah, it's to define, and this is the definition, time and place restrictions to allow public comments during the Logan County Board of County Commissioners open meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I mean, I just don't want the board to forget that we do work for the people, so.
Well, absolutely, and that's why we allow public comment on everything that we've got on the agenda, and we do work for the people. I get that.
So I'll second Cody's motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Would it be up to 1 minute? Is that the time frame, or is there no time frame?
It's the 1 minute is for the initial comment, right? Approximately 1 minute.
No time frame on the discussion of item.
Okay.
But that's if the board decides to enter into discussion, right? So, okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, thank you. Item 17, discussion and possible action to approve the use of ACO deductible fund in the amount of $1,456.50 for damage to a vehicle.
I'll move that we approve.
A second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 All right. Now our ACO fund will be happy we got that done for them. Okay, item 18. Discussion and possible action to approve cooperative agreement between Logan County and Wade Inman to donate voluntary services to maintain certain roads within District 2. Cody?
I've hit on this a little bit, and I've been in discussion with Lowell, and got an email response back. Wade Inman is a contractor. He builds roads for a living. He builds runways, roads, stuff like that. He does carry a $1 million liability insurance policy. Therefore, with him doing so, he's the DA is not concerned about us being liable. In the contract, it also states that he's liable for any damages or anything else after doing such work. The agreement's only going to be for 1 year, and any jobs or work done by him has to be approved by myself in written notice before he does the work. So.
Can I ask, because I didn't look, but you just said the 1 year, signing this today, it would only be good till June 30th, and it would have to be redone. We can
Right.
only enter it.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you need more roads to work on, let me know.
Roger that. Now this came up back in 2019 when we were going through floods and people wanting to help and people going out and doing work on roads without permission, and there was a liability issue there that we were talking about needed to be addressed, and I think Cody's taken the initiative to make sure that got done. So has there been a motion yet?
I haven't heard one.
I will make a motion we approve this agreement.
I will second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further conversation? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, item 19, discussion and possible action to approve resolution accepting $500 donation from Gary and Peggy Dubois to the sheriff's office for the purchase of equipment.
There's a letter from Damon explaining the next three items, their donations. There's that first one.
I'll move we approve.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. Item 20, discussion and possible action to approve resolution accepting $300 donation from Waterloo Village LLC doing business as IB's Pizza and Deli Store to the sheriff's office for purchase of equipment.
I'll move we approve.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 20 is approved. Item 21, discussion and possible action to approve resolution accepting $25 donation from Russell Pardue to Sheriff's Office for purchase of equipment.
I'll move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Those items have been approved. Item 22, consideration possible action to approve resolution declaring surplus and disposing for the following for the sheriff's office. One Surface Pro laptop.
I'll move we approve.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion there? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Item 23, discussion and possible action to approve resolution to remove surplus items from assessor's inventory.
They're definitely disposed of, so I'll move that we approve.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Thank you, Wayne, for working with us on that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is that an aye? for me?
Aye.
Okay. Motion is unanimously approved. Item 24, discussion and possible action to approve detention transportation claim in the amount of $5,666. $566.
Yeah,
I thought it was a little high. And 92 cents for December 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I was trying to inflate that number for you, sure.
Chairman, I have nothing for items 25 and 26.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 27, consideration possible action on consent agenda. And here we go.
Did those finger exercises.
Thank you, ladies.
Alright. Alrighty, I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
And Marvin, when it gets down, I have other signature requirements for you, Monty. There's one there for you, so look at the tabs as it goes through, please.
Yes, ma'am.
both sign it?
I don't know why that form never has enough lines on it.
I just signed under yours.
Goddamn, signing up for I've done all of them.
You can sure sign for me, I don't mind.
Some of them might be in the wrong spot. Double check right there. Yeah, it's in deep thought.
I've been in deep stuff before.
We're about to all be in deep stuff, supposedly. I'm still remaining optimistic. Although we're preparing for it.
Officer reports.
I got it.
I'm gonna slide this back your way for signature here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seems a bit redundant, but okay.
Well, one's a board action and one was the
And one's.
officer
and the-
making the appointment.
And the board action I signed as the chairman, so, you know, it's kind of, yeah. I understand. They want what they want when they want it.
What'd you tell me the other day? We go to school about these forms that I have, you know, on the forms. Fill in the blanks.
Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to catch all of that before I left here today.
And I notice all of our forms say SA and I on them somewhere.
Well, not all.
Most all of them.
I make some up myself.
Ah, you make up stuff.
I do. I even have a employee inventory page all written up since our conversation that I will be sending to you all.
So we're gonna keep inventories of employees,
Yeah.
where they're at and all that, so we can.
Now,
get
you're on
count-
your own for that. I'm not tracking that.
Where they're stored, yeah.
County property in their possession.
There you go, I like that.
So, yeah.
That's it for consent.
I'm about there.
Actually, I brought
So
the
this is
handy
yours on
dandy new little form that I will send to each of you.
I did notice that our county highway fund is not growing as much as I'd like it's going to. I just put that little bit of news out to the public.
And I'll add that it don't surprise me at all.
new as I am, it doesn't surprise me either.
All right.
Everything going on.
No, but gas prices are going up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think ACO is supposed to be supporting us, getting an extension on that certain money coming to the counties. They're apparently supporting that, so
Yeah, maybe on the surface.
you've been around this table before, I can tell.
Also, the bill that was making the necessary needed changes to the reward for vandalism was in committee yesterday. It did pass out of committee.
Cool.
1031 passed also.
All right, Monty, I'm done.
I'll move we approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All right. Item 28, discussion of possible action on approving claims for payment February 2021. Did you notice how the draft came off of that? Real easy.
Oh, no, I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah. That was a matter of clicking on the draft overlay that he put on there and click and delete. It wasn't a permanent brand.
I honestly haven't paid much. But I tend to not send anything out in the Word docs. I try to.
Well, that was a PDF that he tried to brand, a PDF, and they're a little bit different.
Oh, I don't know, I'm getting pretty good with PDFs too. Practice on these forms makes perfect.
Excuse me? So you're doing a good job.
Quick that was.
That's what I
He
said.
did say that. That's exactly
What I
what he
said.
did say.
Yeah, I just never know that you on here. Thank you.
Just because you sit out there and criticize everyone, don't
I gotta get out of this corner. I don't like that corner.
A little warm over there. Gonna get
I
noted.
like my corner
All
right
the
here.
rock candy bounces off,
Yeah.
you can get hit over there.
Don't like dodging bullets? At least it's not done like you're dodging.
I was gonna hit my donut. You can go pretty far.
That's funny, I like that, that's funny.
I'll make a motion, we approve the claims.
I second.
Give me a second, fellas, let me look at this, more of the sheriff stuff here.
Man, one more compliment from me.
We have a motion and a second on the claims, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Claims are approved.
What's that saying? No good deed goes unpunished.
Item 29, discussion and possible action on approving purchase card payments for February 2021. Trying to keep up.
I'm moving to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second on purchase card. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's approved. Item 30, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners?
Only thing I got, we got snow plows on our graders, we got them all chained up, and people gonna have to be patient if we get that much snow, because it's gonna be a overwhelming battle.
I second that.
I third.
Anything else, Mike?
That's it.
Same here, we're gonna be focusing on our main snow routes and try to get everybody taken care of and as quickly as we can, I guess.
Okay. Same here. I mean, over on our side of the world, Broadway, up and down Broadway's, you know, one that we try and keep open.
Don't forget about Coltrane.
Coltrane, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That's a big old,
That's a
long,
beautiful road.
it is.
The one's got ice on it. It is.
It's a skating rink.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir, it is.
Beautiful road.
Well, you know, people wanted these solid road bases on these dirt roads. Well, they got one now.
Along those lines, and thanks for bringing that up, Sheriff. We've got, we just got delivery of about 60 tons or 70 tons of salt between the 3 road districts, and got that out of Kansas. You know, when the ice hits, you know, everybody thinks that you should have 100,000 tons of salt just sitting there waiting for an ice storm, right? And that's not the way it works, because you got to store it in the barn and that sort of stuff to keep it from getting wet. And Monty taught me a new term today: leach out onto the ground, and it does. Salt will melt when it gets wet. Along those lines, you know, we had talked about the need for that, and I had a picture shown to me about an Econoline salt shed that uses concrete and that kind of stuff, and maybe that's something we can put on our agenda to discuss at our next meeting. The possibility of buying and building one of those at one of our sites for joint use. Money, I don't mind it being out there in the Great White North. If you want to put it out there, that'd be fine with me. We can come get salt when we need it.
We got plenty of room.
Same here.
Okay. Well, we got a little room. Once we get all the timber burnt that's been stacked up, then we'll have a little more. But anyway, that's all I have. So with that, we can go to item 32, consideration possible action on adjournment.
May I really quick, depending on how much snow we get, please track what you guys do, because if it ends up being a huge amount, this possibly could end up turning into a FEMA event. So please track who does what, when and where, and it'll make it easier trying to fill in the blanks later. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Daniel. I'll
So
second
move.
Cody's.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.